From a personal computer that's more powerful than data centers were like a decade ago to an AI powered cat tower, CES was expectedly full of AI this year. So that's the Consumer Electronics Show, or CES, and that's wrapping up this week in Las Vegas. So CES is the largest tech show in the world, which has slowly turned into the last like 2 or 3 years into the conference where we see kind of both amazing and absolutely unnecessary AI being unveiled. So today we're going to help you hopefully decide between what's absolutely noteworthy and necessary and might help you grow your company and career in the coming years, and what is just some kind of unnecessary AI infused tech garbage that could flop. Nothing against an AI cat tower. I might like that actually. All right, y'all. What's going on? My name is Jordan Wilson, and welcome to Everyday AI. I'm excited to give you a quick recap today of everything that's going on at CES. It's still wrapping up, but before we jump in and go over, I first have to give a shout out to our partners at Microsoft. So, why should you listen to the Work Lab podcast from Microsoft? Because it's the place to find research-backed insights to help guide your org's AI transformation. Tune in to learn how shifting your mindset can help you grasp the full potential of AI. That's WORKLAB, no spaces, available wherever you get your podcasts. All right. If you haven't already, if you don't know, this is Everyday AI. We do this every day. Every Monday through Friday, anyways, both, here on the podcast. So if you're listening, thank you so much. On Apple or Spotify, we have hundreds of episodes. Go check them out, but also go check out our website at youreverydayai.com. There you can sign up for the free daily newsletter. Each and every day, we do a email style recap of our show, as well as keeping you up to date with literally everything else that you need to know in the world of AI. So most days we do the AI news. Today, we're not going to do that because essentially what we're going over today, this is some of the biggest AI news anyways, but we will still have some of those things, like as an example, chip maker TSMC is posting record revenue. There's a new report on how AI is causing record job losses. There's a new standalone Grok app that's just being released and a lot more. So we'll have all the normal AI news you need in the newsletter, but enough with the chit chat. Let us get straight into it. There is hundreds of new AI products and services that were announced at CES. So I wanted to round them all up for you. This, admittedly, I use a ton of AI to obviously, plan for all my shows, right? I'll use Perplexity and, Google Deep Research, Chat GPT, Microsoft Copilot. I was using them all last night because there was literally so much coverage of CES, so many announcements. I'm a little tired, but that's why I got the extra strong coffee. So we're going to go rapid style. All right. This one's going to be a little fast, a little furious. All right. But we're going to hopefully distinguish between what's good and what's not. All right. Live stream audience, thank you for tuning in. Big Bogey and Mario on YouTube. Jackie joining us. She kind of wants the cat toy thing. I might as well. Rolando on LinkedIn. We got UNC. Hey, I'm a big UNC fan. That's actually Unchained on YouTube. All right. Let's go ahead and get to it. Live stream audience, let me know as we go along. What's good, what's not, what's flopping, what's hot. All right. First, I'm breaking this up into some different categories because there's honestly too much to digest. So first, let's talk about the top 5 big companies. All right. So the household names, and obviously CES, it is, I mean, historically, before the generative AI boom, it was a lot of those household names of appliances, stuff like that. Right. So, we're going to be covering some things that we normally wouldn't cover, but only if it's got a bunch of AI. All right. So here's what I think are the top 5 biggest companies and their announcements. So NVIDIA, we're going to be talking about a lot about NVIDIA, but NVIDIA had their RTX 50 series GPUs released. So two times more AI inference than their last generation of GPU, as well as a new simplified GB10 super chip. So that is the Grace Blackwell chip. So this thing, the baseline GPU, 50, I think 5070 starts at $549. The RTX, like, if you don't know anything about GPUs, it's actually so cheap for how powerful it is, right? Yeah, there's versions that cost, $1,000 more dollars. But this is massive. So the 92 billion transistors inside, yeah, represent a massive engineering achievement that puts NVIDIA literally light years ahead of their competitors. We're going to be getting to more NVIDIA, so their CEO, Jensen Huang, actually keynoted CES technically the night before everything else opened. So I also don't know, how is NVIDIA announcing so many huge things at the Consumer Electronics Show, but then they have their own GTC conference in like 3 months, and they're going to announce, what they announced at CES, honestly, like that's more than most companies would announce in 5 to 10 years. And then they're going to do it all again in like 3 months. So I'm personally excited to see what else can they possibly announce in like 3 months. But I guess when you are a, $3 trillion market cap company, you can, churn out years worth of updates in a couple of months. So also, we saw updates to the Cosmos platform, including their first World Foundation model for understanding physical environments. And they did announce that the code will be available on GitHub as well as open source for that World Foundational model on Cosmos. And let's just skip to what I think is the best thing that NVIDIA announced, right? We got other companies here, but the new digits. All right. So this is essentially a supercomputer that is a personal computer. All right. This thing is what NVIDIA said is 1,000 times more powerful than the average computer that's available right now. We already covered it a little bit on the AI news earlier in the week, but it is small, but it is friggin' powerful. This is a supercomputer. It's pricey. It's $3,000, right? And this isn't so, your son or your aunt can, scroll Facebook faster. That's not what this is for. This is for if you're doing heavy, if you're a AI researcher, this is the computer you're probably going to be buying, Project Digits. And I don't think that anyone else anytime soon will be able to put out anything like this remotely close in price. So if you are an AI researcher, if you're trying to run, as many AI models as you can at home locally, edge AI, right? That's what this thing's all about. It's if you are trying to run huge on-device AI. So, they did say by chaining two of these bad boys together, you'll be able to run, as an example, 405 billion parameter models like Llama 405B, right? But to think that you could run that on a personal computer doesn't make much sense, right? Doesn't make much sense. I think even, my computers can't even run the 8B in 7B models, right? I got to run some of the smaller ones because my computers will struggle a little bit. What NVIDIA just announced with Project Digits, mind-blowing, right? Are they going to sell millions of them? Absolutely not. Is it a literal feat of engineering? Yeah, it is, right? It's nuts. So it obviously runs the complete NVIDIA AI framework, and they are targeting kind of those machine learning researchers and smaller enterprises that do want to run, edge AI locally. So yeah, $3,000. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, previously, if we're talking 10, 20 years ago, getting that kind of compute that's now in a personal computer would be tens of millions or hundreds of millions of dollars, right? Makes no sense, right? If you're listening on the podcast, I'm just shaking my head. Either the coffee hasn't kicked in. I mean, I've looked at this Project Digit since it came out. I'm trying to figure out a reason why I need to spend $3,000 on one. So, uh, Nvidia, I know I got a couple friends there. If you feel so inclined to ship me over a Project Digits computer, I will do a review on it. But it's mind-boggling. All right. So let's move on. We're actually going to get to more Nvidia later because they did announce a lot of other things. But next, Samsung. So, like I said, a lot of things at CES. It's your typical, appliance companies. So I know we don't normally cover the Samsungs and LGs of the world, but we are today. So Samsung had updates to their Smart Things Pro for business environments, and this is kind of some AI-powered solutions for hotels, offices, commercial buildings, as well as some new B2B solutions for operational efficiency. So this is a big play for Samsung going after enterprise customers and commercial buildings. All right. So they also have their Vision AI, which I think is, I don't know. This is one of those I can't even decide if it's exciting or unnecessary. Right. But they're essentially partnering with Microsoft to shove Microsoft Copilot into their 2025 smart TV models. I don't know, y'all. Do we need like Copilot in our TV? I mean, the same thing. Do I need Chat GPT in my TV? I don't know. I see some fringe use cases. Even someone like, all right, I have an older TV. It probably needs updated, right? Do I need a TV with Copilot or Chat GPT, even though I love Copilot and Chat GPT? I don't know. Is that just me? Like there's a certain part of my brain, maybe it's because I have a daily AI podcast and I talk and read about AI so much, like I have to like stop at some points. Right. It's actually funny. Like my wife will be, listening, to the podcast, right? She's like, oh, I didn't, listen to it all today, at night. And I'm like, no, shut it off. like there's a certain point after spending 10 to 12 hours a day, I'm like, no more, right? So do I need Copilot in a TV? I don't know. Maybe other people do. I don't know if I personally do. But we still have the new Vision AI launch there from Samsung, because I'm sure a ton of people are actually going to want it. They also Samsung launched their AI for All campaign, focusing on everyday AI integration. Not everyday AI, but just AI in everyday applications. All right. They also have some new AI hybrid cooling technology for refrigerators. Yeah. I mean, we're at the point now where everything's just AI powered this, right? And any appliance, just it's like the old Flex Seal, commercials where they just slap Flex Seal on a boat that has a leak and, they're like, oh, your boat's awesome now, so now everyone's just slapping AI on something, oh, look, these, scissors have AI on them now to help you cut in straighter lines. And now the scissors go from $1.99 to $199, right? It's like, I don't know. Do we need that? All right, LG. Yeah, I told you we got a lot of these brands we normally wouldn't talk too much about. So they showcase their immersive brand at CES. They're trying to integrate more AI into physical living spaces across the home, mobility, and commercial environments. So not sure if anything from LG is worth batting my eyes at, but they did have their new Furon AI agent, which provides personalized environmental adjustments based on user behavior. There's some proactive health monitoring and system suggestions in there. And it also integrates with LG smart home ecosystem for seamless automation. So yeah, if you're a big, LG smart home aficionado, now there's an AI agent called Furon that helps you tweak all those home automation things, make it better. All right. Google. Yeah, there's Google announcements, even after they went straight up nutty in December with all their Gemini announcements. But now they're bringing Gemini AI assistants to TVs. All right. So they'll begin rolling those out in select Google TV devices in late 2025. So this just enables Gemini conversation for your TV for content discovery. So I don't know. Maybe there's some use case for these now that I think about it, right? Versus, I don't know. I don't think they demoed this, but instead of scrolling Netflix for 45 minutes when you only have an hour to watch Netflix, right? Anyone else? Is that just me? Live stream audience, can you tell me, does anyone else like say you have an hour to like watch a show or something, and you just spend 45 minutes like scrolling through there, and you're like, why are there so many like random sci-fi thrillers based in a utopian future, right? I just need one, not 300 of them, 300 that are C pluses. Give me one A minus. I'll be happy. Maybe that's only me. I don't know. Um, so yeah, Carrie, shout out all my Chicago people in the house. Former guest Carrie Sullivan says, I think what you're seeing as weird with Copilot in TVs, etc., pushing Gen AI models like a consumer product doesn't make sense. Yeah, I get it as well, right? If you're trying to push that as the hardware piece, but yeah, obviously on the software side, at first, even when I'm saying it out loud and researching it, I'm like, I don't know if I need Copilot or Gemini in my TV, but then I'm also like, oh, well, I don't know if it's going to help me on the software side, not have to spend so long trying to find a TV program to watch. Sure. I said TV program. Apparently I'm 90 now. All right, cool. So you can also remove Hey Google wake words. All right, so it's not going to trigger all the time. Like if you have 20 smart devices, you can opt out of that one. So Microsoft. All right, we're getting all the big tech companies here. So Microsoft, they announced some new AI agents. Yeah. But not for, your computer necessarily, but for other physical environments. So they introduced 6 new, what they're called reference architecture agents for different physical spaces. So as an example, for automotive and mobility use cases, and that includes frameworks for autonomous vehicle operations and digital cockpits, as well as they partnered with other companies. They announced, Microsoft announced some other partnerships with PTC, Siemens, NVIDIA for implementation of those new 6 reference architecture agents for automotive and mobility. All right, let's get on to AI agents, all right? Kind of a nice transition there. So NVIDIA, I said we'd be talking about them more. I'm going to go a little faster here because I don't want this to turn into like a 4-hour show. All right. So we have platforms that were updated like Cosmos and Nemotron models kind of leading the way to help others create advanced AI agents. So CEO Jensen Huang described AI agents as the quote unquote next wave in AI evolution, moving away from perception and digital to actually physical, right? Embodied AI. So the Accenture group, pretty exciting here. They announced the AI refinery for industry. So that essentially streamlines tasks, analyzes data, and enhances business efficiency. So they're launching with 12 initial industry agent solutions. So I do see this as a trend, right? And actually, I said this a very long time ago, right? When all of the management consulting companies, started banning ChatGPT, and they're like, oh, this thing's a fad. Nah, I'm like, you're all going to use it, and you're going to have to use generative AI and large language models top to bottom, or you're going to start losing business or going out of business. So it's no surprise, 2.5, 3 years later, after the ChatGPT movement, all the big management consulting companies are going all in on large language models in their next iteration in agents. So they are Accenture's launching with 12 initial industry agent solutions, and they're expanding to over 100. So pretty interesting move here from Accenture with their AI refinery. All right. Also, they partnered with NVIDIA for enterprise AI systems. Microsoft, like we talked about, they have theirs for autonomous vehicle and connected mobility, as well as new Azure Innovation Accelerator AI agents. All right. LG, we already kind of referenced, but wrapping it all up here with their Furon AI agents to improve interactions with their AI-enabled products, their hardware. Then we have Qualcomm AI chatbots to enhance device control and human machine interactions. So they also showcase their home service robot. All right. So there's the agent roundup. Again, these aren't what was announced at CES. It's not as much software. It's more AI powered or AI enabled hardware. Like I said, some of these agentic capabilities are for certain industry, automotive, transportation, mobility, healthcare. I mean, there were so many. The other thing, I'll probably share some in the newsletter today, a link. There's so many like cool threads, on Twitter as an example that shows short little clips of a lot of this, AI powered hardware in action. It's a little harder to, show all those on the podcast, but I'll make sure to share some of those best roundups in the newsletter today. All right. Now we're going to go even faster. We're going to the 5 new or updated technologies with the most potential. I've already talked about NVIDIA Cosmos, but I have to mention it again. This is their world model, and world models are going to be huge. So this does enable those people to generate massive amounts of photoreal physics-based synthetic data to train AI models. All right, these world models, right now, there is a lack of essentially data. Like we've already scraped everything on the internet and more, right? So we need these essentially AI models, right, to start creating new synthetic data for us to better understand the real world, right? There was a lot of rumors, right, when OpenAI's Sora first came out, and everyone's like, yo, this seems like this was just trained on a bunch of YouTube videos and video games. So, a big move now is these world models. So then AI can move from the computer, right, to the real world. So think of it like this. We have AI that now works on our computers and all of our different software applications because it was essentially scraped and trained on those things, our software applications and the internet, right? So now, the biggest tech companies, I mean, they've known for a while, but now they're creating and releasing these AI world models because they realize, hey, aside from, all those, Google, street view cars that have gone around, right? But there's a lack of just overall quantifiable, structured data on how the world works. That's why some of these early, as an example, AI video models struggled because they didn't understand real world physics, right? That's why we still haven't, seen fully autonomous, fully self-driving vehicles yet because, aside from Tesla, which is a leader in collecting this data, there's just not enough real world data, right? There's, if you want to Google something, niche, like, I don't know, best tumbler for, keeping your drink cold, there's probably hundreds of thousands of sources on the web, right? But there's not that same reflective amount of data available for real world. So NVIDIA Cosmos, huge. AI powered smart homes, so much that was announced there. The RTX neural shaders and neural faces technology. We also saw a lot for AI for creative work as well. So LG's A11 AI processor enabled personalized content curation and viewing experiences. So I think that's some technology with a lot of big potential just for personalized content curation. I think that's huge because we're being overwhelmed by AI content. So obviously we need AI to help us curate it all, right? AI powered smart homes. There's so much out of CES with that. So Samsung's updated map view, it uses generative AI for furniture arrangement and 3D space design. There's always so many cool new vacuums, right? All those smart robot vacuums. They're born at CES, right? So we saw the new Robo Rock Z70. It featured this one I liked. I saw this video. I'm like, all right, I don't need to spend money on this. Is it cool? I don't know. Is it useful? Maybe, maybe not, but is it cool? Yeah. So this has using a ton of, vision AI and other types of AI, it uses a robotic arm that can pick up and move small objects, right? So that one I thought was pretty interesting because you always think with these, these smart, robots that vacuum your home, you're always like, okay, well, I got to pick up my house before the vacuum can vacuum, right? It's like if you got to clean your house before your house cleaner comes, so yeah, the robot vacuum goes around and picks up things off the floor before it vacuums and does its job. All right. So AI in cars, some other technology that obviously has a ton of potential. So we saw Honda's Asmo OS providing personalized optimization for their upcoming Zero Series electronic vehicles. BMW's new iDrive system with AI-powered voice control, panoramic display. Hyundai's Mobis unveiled holographic windshield display with a Zeiss optics glass. Yeah, Zeiss is it Zeiss or Zeiss? I should know. I used to have some of those lenses for my camera. Speaking of AI in cars, we saw LG's Vision AI mobility concept, and that tracked drivers' health, stress levels, and attention. I don't know if I necessarily want that in my car, right? For it to be tracking my health and stress levels. I don't know. Maybe my attention span, sure, to make sure I'm not falling asleep. I don't know if I want my car to be telling me to, get my cholesterol checked, right? I don't know. At a certain point, parts of these things are really cool. Parts of them, I'm like, all right, we absolutely probably don't need that. So many AI powered health devices. So, Withings, cardio, face hearts, cardio mirror, right? This mirror, AI mirror that like scans your whole body in 45 seconds, so it can tell you how much you need to go to the gym. I think a regular scale could do that. We saw Holmes AI platform that can identify 21 different cardiac arrhythmias. I didn't know there are that many types of heart arrhythmias. All right. Yeah, so many smart mirrors, all that good stuff. So we got more. Don't worry. First, I got to take a sip of my coffee. And also, quickly shout out our partners from Microsoft. So, why should you listen to the Work Lab podcast from Microsoft? Because it tackles your burning questions about AI at work. How can I guide my org's AI transformation? How can AI help maximize value and create new products and business models? And what mindset shift do we need to make if we want to tap into its full potential? Find the answers on Work Lab. That's WORKLAB, no spaces, available wherever you get your podcasts. All right. Yeah, big bogey face saying, yeah, tell me you won't be distracted by the passenger next to you playing Xbox. Yeah. What happens when you have all these, smart windshields in your car, and yeah, someone, passenger just uses it for in different purposes. Carrie saying 80% of people aren't going to change their behavior, even if the tech is shoved down their throat. Yeah, I agree. If I spend, I don't know, $1,000 on an AI powered smart scale, is that going to make me more likely to go to the gym? I don't know. Maybe not. I'm going to say probably not. All right. Let's talk about some announcements that were focusing on language models. So we did already talk about the Nemotron AI models. This is from NVIDIA. This is based on Llama's open-ish source Llama models. Yeah. So I'm excited to see more benchmarks on this, because NVIDIA's original Nemotron models, so these are essentially tuned versions of the open source Meta models, outperformed Meta's own Llama models. So I'm excited. It's actually, I think, the Ultra 253B, that could be a beast. So I'm excited to wait to see once we have more benchmarks on that. That's one keeping an eye on. Like we talked about, a lot of different Gemini assistants for AI TV. We saw Samsung's Vision AI that had, live translate. So when you're watching TV, okay, that's pretty cool, right? If the captions or, closed captions, subtitles aren't available, for it to be able to do that through live TV. All right, that's pretty cool. You also, Samsung, their click to search, which they have on their smartphones, coming to smart TVs as well. Here Technologies AI assistant. So this uses multiple generative AI large language models for natural language powered location aware guidance. So this is for vehicles, and it enhances driver safety, route optimization, and it's going to launch in 2025. Qualcomm, we talked about AI chatbots for appliances, right? Yeah. So now they're not just being made by the makers of the appliances, but big giant corporations like Qualcomm are creating AI chatbots that other, hardware companies can shove into their devices. So can't wait for my computer mouse to talk to me. Um, that's a joke. I don't know. I don't. So many of these things. I don't want a smart AI powered washer and dryer, right? I've if you follow the show or the newsletter closely, I'm always comparing, like I'm always complaining about my appliances. I don't know why. All my appliances in my house just decided to give up over the last 6 months, like all of them at the same time, right? So I'm going and looking at all these things, and it's just like I don't want AI in my washer and dryer. To be honest, I want a washer and dryer that was made in 1970s because those things could go through like a nuclear apocalypse. Like those things were tanks. That's what I want, right? I don't want something with 300 sensors because it breaks 300 times a day. I don't know. Maybe that's me. Maybe I'm getting old and grumpy. All right. All right. Let's move on to stuff that maybe is going to flop. All right. Maybe. So every year there's all these AI announcements, and keep this in mind. Just because companies announce these things obviously doesn't mean that they're going to come out in 2025, right? So many of these things, I was trying to do an actual percentage last night, using like Google Deep Research from 2024, like what percentage of things that were announced actually came out. But there's hundreds of new product announcements, and it's too much. But I'll say this, a large majority of things that are announced at CES either don't come out, or I won't say a large majority, but I will say a big chunk either do not come out, or they come out in too little fanfare, right? So initially, a lot of these things might be hyped, and then they flop. All right, so let's talk about things that maybe these were a little too much. Maybe these things are going to flop, or maybe the companies are just going to realize there's not enough uh, interest in them. The LG Aero Cat Tower. Confession, I'm a cat guy. I like cats. All right. But I don't know if I need this. So it functions as both uses AI to function as an air purifier and a heated cat perch and weight monitoring capabilities. What kind of bougie cats are we raising now, right? Imagine if your cat was such a snob, you got them a regular cat tree and they're like, nah, bro, where's all the AI? Right? I need an air purifier, a heated perch, and I need weight monitoring. I don't know. I don't. And it also tracks your cat's sleep patterns and weight data. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I mean, would I like to get this from my cat? Maybe, but I don't know. This is too much, LG. All right. Samsung, yeah, their bespoke AI washing machines. So their new washing machine, jammed with probably too much AI, has a 7-inch LCD touchscreen. Why do we need a bigger touchscreen in a washing machine than like a smartphone? Why can't you just, if you need a smart AI, I don't know, a 7-inch LCD touchscreen for your washer? I don't like. Talk about like your maintenance and repair bills going through the roof, right? Now you have an expensive touchscreen that's probably going to break all the time. Because you know what really never breaks? Smart washers. They break all the time. And then let's throw another 7-inch LCD touchscreen. I don't know. I'm out. Yeah, AI driven washing and drying cycles based on fabric type. No, I'm out. Live stream audience, am I just old and tired and grumpy? Like, do you all want AI powered refrigerators and washer and dryers and cat perches? I don't know. So there's also the new LG AI Home inside their 2.0 refrigerator. Is that what it's called? The LG AI Home Inside 2.0 refrigerator. So this was deemed by privacy advocates, according to reports, as the worst overall product due to privacy concerns about software, monitoring your every move, and the energy consumption of this thing. So this had AI-powered food management capabilities with built-in cameras, an OLED display panel that shows hologram-like visuals, and it offers curated music playlists. Yeah, I don't know. So if you have too much leftover Chinese and pizza, does it start playing like workout music to get you pumped up, to be like, don't eat that. Don't eat that, Tortorisi's pizza for the fifth time this week, Jordan. Here's the Rocky theme song. All right. We also had the Bosch Revol crib. All right. Yeah. An AI powered crib. So it uses millimeter wave radar sensors to measure the baby's heart rate and respiration, features environmental monitoring, including temperature, humidity, and air quality sensors, AI enabled detections of objects near baby's face. And it's expected to launch in China first, with US release planned for 2026, and only $1,200 for the Bosch Revol Smart Crib. I don't know. If you're worried about something falling on your baby's face, maybe don't shove a bunch of AI sensors right around the baby's crib. I don't know. That's just me. All right. Next, some AI announcements that probably didn't need and might flop. So next is the Nekohita Fufu. I don't know if that's how it's pronounced. Probably not. So this can cool hot water from 88 Celsius to 71 Celsius in 3 minutes. All right. It features different blowing modes and attaches to any dishware with straight edges. I don't even know what half of these things are. So yeah, it's an AI controlled thing to cool hot water. I don't know. It uses an algorithm to randomize blowing strength for cooling drinks. Don't need it. All right. Let's round up, hey, Dr. Harvey Castro joining us from CES. Yeah, Harvey, let us know if there's anything we missed. Love this. Marie says, cats sleep roughly 18 hours a day. Nothing to monitor there. Yeah. That's funny. All right. Here's the rest of our noteworthy AI announcements that didn't really fit well in any of the other categories I decided to make. Ready? So Intel, they launched their new Intel Core Ultra 200V series mobile processors. They introduced new adaptive control unit designed specifically for electric vehicle power trains. They demonstrated their AI playground for local Gen AI workloads. I did try that out also at the Microsoft Ignite conference. Pretty cool. AMD. So yeah, a lot of other big players in the space. They unveiled some of their new processors. Obviously, they got overshadowed by NVIDIA. Man, I'd hate to be working at big companies that are announcing like GPUs, because you have thousands of people working tirelessly to catch NVIDIA, and you're like, oh, here's our new GPU chip, and then I don't know, like NVIDIA's just trumps over like everything else, right? It's like you roll out, I'll use like a 90s basketball reference, right? You roll out some good players on the court and you're like, yeah, we feel good about this. And then NVIDIA comes out with 400 Michael Jordan clones and you're like, oh, well, there goes that. All right. But yeah, NVIDIA unveiled some of their new processors, their Ryzen 9950, 9900 processors. They released their their Ryzen AI Max series processors with 16 CPU cores and 50 trillion operations per second. So 50 TOPS AI processing. They also, AMD announced a strategic partnership with Dell. Let's go to Asus. They introduced their ZenBook A14, which is the world's lightest Copilot Plus PC. All right. So, I thought we were going to get more Copilot Plus PC announcements, but we did get the ZenBook A14 from Asus. So if you are looking for the power of a Copilot Plus Plus PC, I actually just bought one. I still got to go through and set it up. But if you want one even smaller and thinner, Asus ZenBook to the rescue. Cyberlink demonstrated in on-device text and image generation capabilities. Perfect Core. Yeah, we had the CEO of Perfect Core actually on the show a couple of months ago. They launched Perfect GPT, a proprietary AI assistant for beauty and skincare advice. They introduced AI hair solutions with color try on and hair type analysis features. And they released UCam online editor with AI portrait generators and hairstyle try ons. You know what? Before I talked with their CEO and knew about their product, if I would have seen this last year, I'd have been like, I don't know if you need it, but I actually know about it. And it's actually pretty cool. All right. That's a wrap, y'all. I think we covered enough artificial intelligence tech this year at CES. That was a ton. So maybe you joined halfway through on the live stream. Maybe you listened on the podcast and you already forgot a bunch and you're like, wait, what was that AI? Whatchamacallit for my cat? We're going to be recapping it all in our newsletter. So if you haven't already, please go to youreverydayai.com. Sign up for the free daily newsletter. If this was helpful, if you're listening on the podcast, there's these little buttons, right? Click that little subscribe or follow button on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. We'd appreciate that, as well as a rating. Yeah, I know I talk a lot. I go on and on, but I don't know. I think a lot of the other podcasts out there, I mean, even the big people, they use just AI voices to bring you podcasts covering AI news. I'm a sleepy, tired human, right? Because I think that you still need some human in the loop. Maybe one chuckle. I don't know. Maybe no chuckles. But if you appreciate the podcast, let me know. Also, check out your show notes. I always keep my LinkedIn URL. Go connect with me. Tell me you listen on the podcast. I know you're not a stranger because stranger danger. But then also when you're done with that, go to our website, youreverydayai.com. Sign up for the free daily newsletter. Thank you for tuning in. I'll see you back later for more Everyday AI. Thanks, y'all.